Okay, everybody, before we jump into this big interview, I'm giving a warning. I'm going to say it twice. If you haven't seen the first 3 episodes of season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale, do not listen to this and come back later. Again, if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes of season 4 of The Handmaid's Tale, leave. There's major spoilers here. We're going to be talking all about what happened, so just come back later. On that note, I'm really excited to have someone really important today because this is my first 3-time guest, and it's Nina Kiri, a.k.a. Alma herself, where the first 2 interviews I said Alma like an idiot, but now I know it's Alma. Nina, how you doing today?
I'm good, and it is both ways. People have said it different ways, so you're not an idiot.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for making me feel better. I appreciate it. So before we get into everything that's crazy, because everyone's going to want to hear about what they just saw, what they're like shocked about, but I want to know how you've been doing yourself during this crazy time we're living and, how you've been kind of passing the time.
I've been kind of in the same spot as everyone, just like ups and downs, kind of trying to just like come to terms with what is happening and just a lot happening all at once. I think it's just been in waves. Like, I think when everything first went down, just like, okay, got to deal with this. It sucks. And I started writing more. And I think just like everybody, writing, yoga, trying to work out, watching movies, just passing the time and kind of for the first time having so much free time that had no end date was actually kind of interesting, just in a study of like how little I started procrastinating when I didn't have anything to procrastinate. And so I could actually do certain things that I wasn't able to do before. So that was kind of interesting, but it starts to get old. It's nice because the film industry has kind of gone back to normal, and I have been working since September. So it's been like when I'm on set, it just feels really normal. And it's nice to be around people, even with the masks and everything. But, outside of that and just life-wise, it's all right. I think just problems get more exacerbated because you're not able to just like blow off steam and go see friends, go see theater, a movie. Those types of things kind of take me back to base in my life. And I think that's just been hard, just like everyone else. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, now you're stuck doing Zoom interviews with bald YouTubers like me. So
no,
sorry. No,
you are so dear to me. I'm so happy to talk to you every time.
No. I'm just teasing. No, but it's funny you bring up, because that's what a lot of things people want to know about is you talk about going back to work during this crazy time. If I'm remembering correctly, Handmaid's Tale season 4, wasn't it one of the shows that like you guys started filming and then literally the pandemic hit? Like, was it a stop-start situation? Was that like a whole complicated thing going on?
Yes, it was. And I think it was that week when everything happened. Like we just kept hearing, I'm on another show, and that show started to like shut down. I was getting all these emails, and we're like shooting on the farm. And then every day we're kind of like waking up, getting out of we were staying at a hotel nearby because it's kind of north of Toronto.
Right.
And every day we'd like get picked up and kind of look at each other like, what are we gonna, and then like no one knew. And then on set, it was kind of just like, are we gonna shut down? I don't know. Oh, these people just shut down. Oh, they just shut down. They just shut down. And then I think it was Friday at lunch. There was just a big get together, and everyone, like 150 people in a room, which
right.
Now seems insane without masks. And I think we shut down at lunch that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I think it was just like anywhere, everyone was kind of scared and weirded out and didn't really know what was going on. So yeah, we had just started filming 2 weeks prior. And so it was kind of just like, oh, all this excitement, and we're going to, and the location was such a great place too, that farm. We just had a lot of like bonding, and anyway, we were all excited and about to start rolling into the season, and then everything shut down. So it was like a stop-start situation.
No, yeah, that just seems crazy, but I'm just happy it's done now. It's here. It's like actually added to the hype, because like now we're waiting even longer. Now it's like, okay, we're back, Handmaid's Tale. And of course, you're in this now epic moment for good and for bad in television history when there's a big killing, right? And, it was hard for me to watch. It's hard for everyone to watch. When did you, though, find out that Alma was going to be killed off?
I found out a couple months before filming, and it was very vague. Like I didn't really know very much. And yeah, I was kind of like, oh my god, like oh my god, it actually felt like I was watching the show, and you're just like shocked, you can't even believe it. But at first I was really sad. But I ran into Lizzie before we started filming. I was doing my fitting, and she was like, she was telling me she ended up directing that episode, and she was telling me what she was thinking for the scene, and she was so excited about it, and it got me really excited, and then I just became like excited about this whole like big moment that Alma
Mm-hmm.
has. And then it just became more special than thinking like, oh my god, she's dying. It was like, oh my god, there's this big scene and we're going to do it this way, and we were thinking of it kind of became more about making the scene really cool than like she's gone.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally know what you mean. So I thought the scene, and I think it came off that way. Like it was, I know it's sad and it's dark, but it was also epic in its own way, where like it was different the way they did it, and it hit perfectly for what the whole episode was doing. And I thought, it's a great way to go out getting hit by a train. That's not even me joking, right? So I'm wondering though, was it always going to be that you were hit by a train, or were you campaigning for that, or was that always going to be Alma's undoing?
I don't know, because I think Alma as a character has been really like just I have never known where she's going to go on the show. I don't think anybody ever did. Like even when I've told you in the past, when I first even started on Handmaids, in my eyes she was only going to be in one episode, and so like everything that's happened with her has been such a, someone gets an idea and like gives her this scene, and then like, oh, she develops this personality. So she's really like morphed so many
Mm,
ways throughout this whole journey of hers on the show. And so nothing that has ever happened to Alma I like expect, it just kind of happens with a mixture of like my performance mixed with writers, mixed with ideas. So when everything shut down, we started having Zoom meetings of how to go PPE training for everybody. And
mm.
we were on a meeting in the summer, last summer, before we went back in September. And Bruce is so awesome. He really gives everyone such individual attention and like care. And he
Mm.
privately messaged me in the Zoom meeting, and I was like, oh well, like time to go back to work and die. And he was like, honestly, Nina, like there is no other way Alma could have gone. Like she had to go out with something insane, because
Right.
she's just such a like she's become such a character in this show and like such a presence. She couldn't just have something random happen to her, or like something that's already happened to someone on the show.
Right.
Yeah, I do think like she had to go out with a bang.
That's the thing. Like when you're a character and you're loved on a show, like your character is like, fans, if they're gonna have the character die, they want it again to be something like awesome. Like it has to be worthy. It can't just be a gunshot. Like you got the
Right.
big one, which is awesome. And you know, I wonder now if let's take it to Nina's perspective on this, because if you're a fan watching this as Nina, and we look at this scene and how it goes down, because I know fans are going to say this. They're going to say that they feel June got Alma killed here, because Alma's like, let's go. This train, we got to beat this train. And, June's just taking her sweet time to decide what she's going to do with Lydia. Do you feel like that, in a sense, she kind of screwed over Alma here, or not? Do you think it's like, you're
I
not
don't
mad?
know. It's situational though, because it's like, without June, I think that like what happens in the first three episodes is like June kind of starts to be like the ringleader. And well,
Mm,
she always kind of has been, but especially on the farm and with things that get down. And then Alma's kind of like the command, like the deputy, whatever, the second in command, right? So like they start to really work together to get things done and to get shit done on the farm. But
right.
like in that moment, I do think it is kind of situational. Like, you can't really do, I think the strength of this show is that like, we can't do things alone. We need each other to do things. And like June can't escape by herself. I can't escape without everybody else. Unless we all get away, none of us get away. So in that situation, it's like, I think it's one of those, we're like an amoeba together. And so trying to get one person to go, and then someone gets shot behind me, and then that
Mm,
maybe could slow us down. So I don't know, it could be, I mean, listen, June does like, she fucks things up a lot,
right,
but and
right.
that's part of her like imperfect character. But I don't know if it's June's fault per se, because for me, I was also kind of thinking like, once the guy starts shooting at us, that also just like slows us down by that millisecond. And maybe that millisecond could have been that, or maybe that millisecond could have been June could have taken less time to decide what to do.
Right.
So I don't know what the answer is, but like the point is that situationally, just a second, and then we lose her, and we also lose Brianna.
No, that totally makes complete sense. And yeah, that's the tough thing too, is like you mentioned, we lose Brianna as well. And, you know, we lose a lot of June's girls here. So like they're all in their own way just so significant to June, and it makes it significant to us as the audience. So speaking of the audience that's listening right now, they don't know that this is pre-recorded, but knowing this is pre-recorded and that we haven't, you and me, seen the reaction to this death yet, I'm predicting that, you know, it's going to be crazy because it reminds me a little bit of like Glenn dying in The Walking Dead, because it's like a loved character that's a little more mysterious, but no one has an issue with this character of Alma. So they're going to have an issue in a sense of her dying because they love her. So it's like, I'm wondering, are you ready for the potential reaction here where, you know, people are going to be messaging you? You're going to get a bunch more followers. They're going to be like, no, like it almost puts you in a rock star area, because it's like when a celebrity, seriously, it's like when a celebrity passes away early, they're almost more legendary. So it's like, I feel like it's made Alma now legendary, and I feel like you have to be prepared for that. So like, what are you kind of expecting?
You're right. I should get more prepared. And I do get sometimes messages of people being like, if Alma dies, I swear to God. And like, just like random DMs.
We riot. Yeah.
So many people. And I'm just kind of like, ha ha, or like, I don't respond, or I'm just kind of like, ha, wait and see. So that already is something I guess I should prepare more for. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't really, there's only so much I can do. I guess I'll just see what happens when it happens. I'm just happy people like Alma. So it's a nice feeling when people want to fight for her and like message me about her.
Yeah, so let's just be prepared when there's people with pitchforks outside Bruce Miller's house, and we won't blame you though, okay? In general too, so talking about this, because what people don't realize too about with shows, especially with TV, what's awesome about the gig you have is that when you get on a big show, especially a big show, which is half luck in that aspect that it became a hit, you're on it. Is it scary now though, losing such, you know, a safe gig and a big gig in this type of industry? Or is it sort of freeing in a way too? Like now it's like open door for you? Like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's so interesting you say that. It's funny because I'm on this show C, and I just started filming it like right after I finished Handmaids. And I think that if I didn't have that, and it's the same, I have a role that's just like throughout, and this character is there, and she's in the next season too, which I'll be shooting like May to October. So
are you talking about C, Apple TV C?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that show. Okay, that's amazing news. Continue.
Well, so like I think that has been a buffer for me. At first I was like, oh God, like what's gonna happen? Da, 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 da. But I think that when I look at it holistically, I love my time on this show. I think that like Handmaids has given me so many incredible, like personal and professional experiences in my life. And I think it was kind of a time, you know what I mean? I like that this happened so far into the show. Like I said to you so many times before, I never expected anything from this show, and everything that happened as a really nice surprise. And I don't think that always happens. Like I think a lot of the times you book a role and you're like, oh, this is going to be big. And then, you know, maybe it's not as big as you think, or you get disappointed in some way, or it's less of a hurdle or less work than you thought. Whereas with Handmaids, it's always been such a like pleasant treat and surprise, everything that happens, because I never knew when I would be on it and how much. And so even getting to be on it as much as I did, I wasn't as sad. Like, I think I was kind of like, oh God, it's the end of an era, but you know, it's kind of time, right? Eventually it's been like 4 or 5 years and you're like, you know, I'm excited for the next thing to come. And then just like logistically working and, you know, being on other shows, it was nice to have something that I have again, you know what I mean? And I can work on again, because I think it wouldn't have made me like nervous or like, oh God, what am I going to do? If I ended filming, like I finished filming Handmaids in like November, and like the week after I started filming C and have been like that. So it was just nice to have something. I think that if I didn't have anything, and especially because with Corona, there's like not like maybe less going on. I'm not really sure. It was nice to have that sort of buffer, and I think maybe if I didn't, I would be kind of more like, oh my God, what's
Right.
happening?
Right.
Now there's like this void and I have to fill it. But yeah, either way, it's been like only really positive with Handmaids. So yeah, in a way, I'm kind of like, this is cool. It's, to me, it's kind of better than kind of dragging on. And then
Yeah,
who
hell
knows?
yeah.
Like,
You're doing the Steve Carell Office season 7. You're going out on top, and that's the best way to do it, Nina. You see, you're learning from the pros.
yeah, so I'm really grateful for that. And I think that Bruce really tried to, I don't know, just give her a lot more agency and screen time in the episodes before she dies, and that was also nice too. They were trying to be like, okay, let's build her up too, and that was fun to do for me, because I think that like this last season was the most special season for me, because Colin Watkinson directed the first 2 episodes, I think, and then
Yes.
Lizzie directed the third one, and it was just like, oh my God, Steve, like it was just so, it was like being surrounded by family, like really,
Yes.
really people that I just trust and have worked with. And Colin shot my short film, like not last summer, but the summer before. And I don't know, these are just people who I've become really close to. And so I felt like held when we were shooting it. I didn't kind of feel like, oh my God, I'm dying, no one cares about me. I felt like it's really special and everybody is trying to make it special. And that just honestly changed my whole perspective. It made me less upset or like, oh God. And it just made me more feel really grateful to have gone so long on a show and have made such close friends and people who want to make this special for me, not just kind of like, oh, you're dying. Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's so effective too, like you said, because clearly like this is Alma gets so much like screen time in season 3, which is awesome. And it makes the death just hurt so much more for the fans, because now we're like glued to her, like seriously. So it's like that worked really well. It was super effective. And speaking to how you feel like it's like a family and all these people that you felt really close to, is like in general, would you say too, like what will you miss the most about The Handmaid's Tale just in your life? Like what is that going to be the hardest part of it to let go?
Being on set is like, for me, I always feel healed when I'm shooting. And there have been so many ups and downs the past 4 years that I've been doing that show. And every time I'm on set, I don't know if it's the chemistry or what's going on, but I connect so much with especially the cast, like Bahia, Maddie, Anne, Lizzie, everybody. I feel like I've had moments of life, personal problems, professional problems, and I've always been able to have conversation and like solace on set. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know, it's been like a safe haven. It's been like the thing that I can go back to, and always I don't know, I can always talk to someone. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like going back to it's a nice vibe. It's like in high school when you have like your crew and you can just say whatever to. That's why I feel on Handmaids.
No.
Honestly, not even just cast, crew, and just like people who you've been with for a long time. Like time goes by and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I've actually known you for a really long time, and I really love and respect you in so many ways. And that's so rare, especially you realize it once I work on other things. I'm like, I want to go back to Handmaid's.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor too. Is it true that you kept one of the pigs from the farm, or you didn't do that?
That's a rumor.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay. Just wanted to put it to rest.
But I will say McKenna, who is in the 3rd season, she's like an animal whisperer, and she like flourished on the farm. And every single day, she's like honestly has a sixth sense for animals. And she'd just be standing there, she'd be like, I feel like there's a snake over there. And then she'd walk over, pick up a snake, she'd pick up frogs. So if anyone stole an animal, it would have been her.
Oh, that's amazing. So Nina, my last question for you before I let you go is, if you could go back in time and talk to young Nina, who's just getting a gig on this show, what advice would you give her? Like any lessons you kind of learned?
I would say trust yourself, trust your ability, because I think that so often as an actor, but I honestly think anyone, you question who you are and what you can give, and you don't realize how powerful exactly and only you are, and how much how much really you can give and how much power you have to move people and to change things just with your presence and energy. Because I think in the beginning, you know, I was kind of like shy and whatever, didn't want to, you know, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm just here and I'm not going to try and like cause a stir or whatever. And just by doing the work and trying to play off of the scenes and the other characters and the other actors, I feel like it was just interesting to watch myself create something when I didn't know if I was capable of doing that.
That's great, just advice. And I think that's, you know, something now as you're becoming more and more of a vet in this industry will help younger actors and actresses. And yeah, I mean, look, the fans are going to miss you. Your cast, your crew is going to miss you, but it's exciting all the things you're talking about that are coming up that you're going to be in. I'm sure they're all going to come with you to watch those things. And I wanted to thank you personally because, again, as I said before, you're the first 3-time guest. You were also the first 2-time guest at the time. And you were one of my first guests ever. You did that first interview with me when I was literally nobody, and you gave me a shot. And that's why this stings even more for me. And it goes even deeper because, like, when I see you get killed off in the show, it's like spiritual for me in a weird way too. And I think fans, seriously, and I think fans will feel that way too. Like, it's more than just a character they're losing. You know, there is a connection we have watching actors and actresses, and maybe we're not with them all the time, but we feel something. There's something out there, I feel. And for you, it's just that, like, you're just an awesome person to me because, again, you gave me that shot. I don't think you know how much that helped me and just what I do. So I wanted to thank you for that. And yeah, and before I lied about last question, before I let you go, one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Steve, okay, that's so nice of you to say, honestly. And I feel the same way about you. I don't know why. I feel like when you first called me for that interview or messaged me, I was like, you know what, this guy seems cool. And so I really appreciate you too. And like your love and support, honestly, same ditto right back at you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And no, and I mean, look, everyone, just, if you like what Nina does, she also directs, she writes, she does everything. She has shorts she's made. It's really exciting time for her, and you can check out her whole filmography. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I can't wait to see you in the show C and everything that's going to come up. But thank you. I'm speaking for the fans here. Thank you for being such an awesome actress and character on The Handmaid's Tale, and your bonnet will always live on.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish I had taken a bonnet or something. On the last day, I was like, God, I'm sure if I call them and ask, maybe they'll give me something. But
you need a token, something.
You need a token. That's
something. Well, you're going to get that token. I believe in you. Thanks so much for joining me, Nina. And I'll definitely be talking to you on your future projects.
Thank you.